Coach, a disappointing 34-27 loss on homecoming. A lot of family members come back, alumni come back. Always want to get that win on homecoming. Just talk about yesterday's game and following the last play of the game at the 1 yard line. But we just seemed just real flat yesterday. Can you talk about that?
Well, first of all, you always want to win at home, but you always want to win homecoming. So those are some rules that you follow as a program, and that was disappointing not to get that one. And this probably was our worst game that we've played all year. And of course, right now we're sitting at 1-5. But you talked about the end result of the game there, getting a pass down inside the 10 and eventually ending up at the 1 yard line. That's the third time this year we've had the ball, with inside of 3 minutes to go in the game to either tie or win the ball game. And so 1-5 could definitely just as well be 4-2 right now. And I think if our kids really looked at the total perspective of where we started this year and where we are at now, they'd probably realize a little bit differently. But it's certainly going to be a tough challenge ahead of us to keep them playing very well.
Well, yesterday you look at the final stat sheet: 430 yards against 324 for Delta. We hold them to 1 of 9 on third down. Time of possession, we have it a full 14 minutes, 10 seconds longer. You look at the stat sheet up and down, you think, okay, how much did we win the game by? But the 4 turnovers is what cost us. 3 interceptions and a fumble. Yes. It just seemed to deflate us when Delta scored the 26 unanswered there. But for us to rebound and get within a touchdown and have a chance to win there at the end, just talk about the fight again that we've had all year.
Well, you're right. We've had that every single game this year. But when we're up 14-0 there in the first half, that's when you need to go ahead and grab that jugular vein, and you just got to keep on rolling. And you talked about it earlier, we're just a little bit too flat. If we could have just raised the intensity and enthusiasm, not let them get a big play or two, or throw a key interception to let them back into the game, the end result of that game would have been much, much different.
You knew coming into the season it was going to be tough with the youth, with how the staff came in. You sit at 1-5 with 3 games left. How do you keep this team together? The frustration's going to be there. How do you keep them together? Go get a win at Holmes next weekend and find a way to play tough against East Mississippi and Jones.
The biggest thing is to stay the course. We're not going to change anything we do with our academic checks, grade checks. The expectations have been set for practicing hard, and the coaches are going to keep on going. We met about that today, and everything was real positive from our coaches that they like what we have installed scheme-wise and just philosophy-wise, discipline-wise, all that sort of stuff. So we just need to get those young players to buy in. We only addressed probably 51 or 52 as we've had a couple season-ending injuries, so we're even more freshman orientated with that. But the biggest thing right now that we're lacking would be some internal leadership. And so when you only have 9 players that were with us last spring, versus 50, 52, and you count practice players and different things too. It's tough to get that leadership in. It really is. It's a big challenge for not only the coaching staff, but it's tough for the players because these guys just haven't been together as long as maybe another team in the league that has 27 to 32 kids that have been playing together for maybe over a year now and a couple summers. So that's it's an ever growing I wouldn't say problem, but just a challenge for us that we know when we got here back in January, and kids kind of weeded themselves out of the program, or players that got released from last year's team. And when we came and saw the numbers that we had last spring to work with, and we knew that was going to be a challenge, and so we're up for that challenge and ready to do that. But as a coaching staff, we're going to be firm, fair, and flexible, and we're going to stay the course and keep on doing a good job and see these sophomores out, and we're going to make sure that they graduate, and we're going to make sure that these freshmen that do get invited back, make sure that they're on track to do the same thing next year. So we're pleased with the progress. Just the end result in that 1-5 is probably the biggest disappointment that we have right now. But I just got to reiterate for our fans and parents and alumni base that these kids are working hard and doing a great job for us, and we could easily be 4-2 right now.
3 losses by less than a touchdown. You mentioned 3 drives. We've had a chance to come down, win, tie, take the lead. That was again yesterday. Just out of curiosity, had we had scored on that last play, were you going to go for 2?
We'd go for 1 at home and do a good job of that. We went plenty for fourth down yesterday and had other opportunities to get those points at different situations. And we really come to think of it, coming back from the Itawamba game, we probably knew there might be an emotional letdown. We just wish we'd have played a little bit better and been able to have that decision decision to go for one or go for two.
You play Holmes for their homecoming on Saturday. They just beat this same Delta team 58-6 a week and a half ago. How do you get prepared for that game down in Goodman?
Well, right now, the biggest difference yesterday was just emotions. That team came ready to play, and they made the decision when they got off that bus that they were going to play hard. I just think our kids need to make that decision when we get off the bus down in Goodman there for our 6 o'clock start Saturday, that we're going to be fighting for all 4 quarters and just make sure that we give each other, player to player, player to coach, coach to player, that same effort that the team that was victorious yesterday did.
Well, best of luck on Saturday. Fans, as always, can watch NJCAA TV to watch the game. Can also follow live stats. We'll have John Darnell and Graham Doty again on the call. So best of luck on Saturday, and try to get win number 2.
Yes, sir. Thank you.